Good afternoon. I'm Peter Bishop, SEGRO Australia B5 panel convener. In this technical seminar presentation, I'll be reporting on the international and local activities of the SEGRO Australia B5 panel over the last year. The B5 Study Committee focuses on protection, control, monitoring and station metering systems. This includes communication between devices and externally, plus interfaces to remote control. Particularly with the application of more distributed energy resources and interconnections, there is a need to concentrate on the end-to-end power system, including distribution, generation, transmission and DC networks. The three B5 strategic thematic groups cover the themes explored by the B5 Study Committee. Substation automation and remote control is illustrated by the diagram, showing equipment involved in a bus transfer scheme that would provide automatic control upon the loss of the transformer. Protection and monitoring covers aspects for isolating network faults, maintaining power system security, limiting plant damage, and ensuring the safe and reliable operation of the power system. New network requirements cover the design and application of digital technology and modern communication systems. The diagram illustrates a wide area monitoring, protection and control system to detect and shed minimum number of generations to keep the power system operating and stable. The next slide shows a few slides. Will cover some B5 highlights of the 2022 SEGRO Paris session. Worldwide contributions were shared and discussed on three preferential subjects: addressing protection-related challenges in networks with low inertia and low fault current levels, applications of emerging technology for protection, automation and control, and integration of intelligence on substations, a joint preferential subject with the B3 Study Committee, as Karina just mentioned. 6 Australia contributions were included. In addition, a manufacturer contribution discussed the implementation of a South Australian-wide area protection and automation scheme that monitors frequency and angle during and after events to shed load or dispatch best generation to help keep the interconnector operating and preventing islanding. A B5 tutorial was also presented on system integrity protection schemes in the context of evolving power grids. There were many common themes in the worldwide contributions on the first subject of addressing challenges with low inertia and low fault current level networks. With the increasing proportion of inverter-based generation such as wind and solar, the resulting protection challenges and required mitigations have grown. Distance protection and under-frequency protection appears most affected. Utilities are often mitigating by adjusting settings or using different protection functions such as line differential. Based on experience of inverter-based fault characteristics and their effect, manufacturers are also making changes to protection algorithms. The diagram shows the inverter impact for different distance protection algorithms and then shows the alterations made to solve the problems. Depending on the location of the network, depending on the location in the network and the degree of inverter-based penetration, more time-consuming electromagnetic transient-based short circuit analysis studies may be required to correctly set reliable protection systems. The diagram shows results from a fault study simulation involving inverter-based resources. Note the transients and the effect on the unfaulted phases. In summary, it was stated that it is now even more important to understand your grid and your protection relays. Contributions presented on the second subject, on applications of emerging technology, considered development challenges in the growing implementation of digital substations. This included the work to adequately develop the now critical, redundant and reliable time synchronization systems for devices across the network. Contributions also looked at other emerging and developing applications such as centralized protection systems and fault identification using travelling wave, as shown in the diagrams. A number of other emerging technology examples were also presented. The third preferential subject session was a joint session with the B3 Study Committee and looked at the integration of intelligence in substations. It highlighted the collection of data from different sources and the development of applications to use the data for improved operations, maintenance and general situational awareness. Traditional wired or local area network communication within the substation could be used to centrally collect the data for use by the applications. Alternatively, non-traditional communication systems such as the Internet of Things and the cloud could be used. There was also discussion about the benefits, including space savings. The challenges were also highlighted. Six Australian preferential subject contributions were presented at the August 2022 Paris session. The contributions covered Australia and New Zealand experience in response to selected special reporter questions. Aspects covered include concern and mitigation for protection with the increased inverter-based resource and generation, experience from South Australia on inverter-based generation behaviour and validation, experience of digital substations from Transgrid and Endeavour Energy, including benefits, challenges and evolutions, and experience and challenges with travelling wave fault location from Transpower New Zealand. During the year, the panel representatives have contributed to 16 working groups and convened one Green Book task force. Working group topics that I think are particularly important and relevant to Australia and New Zealand include those related to frequency protection, particularly relevant with the growing use of renewable generation, faster protection and network automation, requirements for IT and OT with PACs, and requirements of protection and control with renewable energy integration. I have also convened the Study Committee B5 Green Book titled IEC 61850, Principles and Applications to Electric Power Systems. The topic is very relevant for digital substations. IEC 61850 is a standard for communication between devices. Rather than analogue signals over wire, digital signals are sent generally using fibre. Thanks to the efforts of the task force, the book was published in July 2022. Other activities this year included a free online industry webinar titled Frequency Protection Down Under, New Challenges. An under-frequency load shedding response to an event was examined, including the disconnection of solar inverters and methods of improving the response. The webinar is available to view on Seagrey Australia's YouTube channel. Seagrey Australia B5 panel meeting was held online over 2 days in July. During the meeting, response contributions to the B5 Special Reporter questions were discussed and developed. Also, a local presentation was shared on Endeavour Energy's IEC 61850 journey with the evolved digital substation design and installation. Over 2022, a B5 panel organising committee has been planning the 2023 Southeast Asia Protection, Automation and Control Conference, which will be incorporated as a session within the September 2023 Cairns Symposium. There is still time to submit a CPAC abstract, as closure has been extended until the 18th of November. One B5 technical brochure and one B5 Green Book have been published in the last year. Both are particularly relevant to Australia and had representatives involved in their development. The technical brochure covers the analysis and comparison of fault location systems in AC power networks. It explores commonly implemented fault locating techniques and presents practical aspects. Darren Spohr was the Seagrey Australia representative on the working group. The published B5 Green Book is titled IEC 61850 Principles and Applications to Electric Power Systems. It has been summarised previously in this presentation and includes case studies and papers from Australia and New Zealand organisations. Local task force representatives were Rod Hughes and Nirmal Nair, and of course the book was started by Ian Young. That concludes the presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me on the email address on the title slide. Thank you.